Once you prioritize your components, we're going to start designing them. We're going to start building them. And before we add them to our design kit, we want to actually make sure that they meet certain criteria, right? The whole point of a system is to do things the right way, to be accessible, to have everything we need to know before we develop them. So in terms of a checklist, I like having a checklist to say, hey, can all users, regardless of circumstance, use this component? How should how should a component respond when a user actually interacts with it? How can they interact with it? When and where should this component be used? Like, where would I use a link versus a tertiary button, which looks just like a link? Like, what's the differentiation here? Are all of the different states, like the default or neutral state, the hover, focus, disable, are all of those defined? And does this component rely upon any content? If so, you might want to talk to like a content editor. How about customization? Like, if you have different products under a brand identity, you might have different colors maybe for each product. Like, what aspects of our components can be customized? And then what happens if I resize a browser or if I'm on a mobile device? What are the different differentiating characteristics on those different resolutions? And once it gets through a design checklist, we've then got to build it. And this is pretty similar. Accessibility is going to be the same. We have to make sure that it's keyboard accessible. It works with assistive technology. It has to be responsive, so we need to make sure we implement those designs. Completion, does this actually account for all aspects of design? We often get high fidelity designs from our designers, and maybe it's not pixel perfect. That's a huge problem. If you think about it, like all these little pixels, they add up and they can make a big difference. Error handling and prop validation. So what happens if someone passes the wrong prop? Like, are we using TypeScript? Are we using prop types? How do we validate the data coming into our components? And what happens if someone passes the wrong kind of data? Also, do all of these work across all the supported browsers, or do we need to include polyfills somewhere? This is going to vary depending upon your company. You probably have some like set of browsers that you have to be compatible with, so just check on that.